welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. And today's Tuesday, and if you hear me doing a lot more of the talking, my co-host is here, but he has a hidden disability, which is asthma, which I grew up with an asthmatic. An asthmatic raised me. I don't know if you guys know that, but my mom had severe asthma, and so I'm used to being around asthmatics. So if I am doing a bunch of talking, you guys, that's because the subject matter, but Mel's going to chime in when he can. So today we're doing the second deep dive on cerebral palsy, and Mel is going to ask me questions. I have the PhD in cerebral palsy. Mel's going to start laughing at me because he's like, geez, you have the PhD in it and you're making me do research on, disability. So I don't know why you guys like cerebral palsy so much. I don't know whether I am teaching it well, quote unquote, or what I'm doing, but you guys seem to like it. And just a quick programming announcement before we start. I would love for the month of June to get 700 downloads per episode, because that shows me that my work is really impactful. Our work as a team is really impactful, and it's my 30th birthday month. So please, 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 please help me make that birthday wish for the podcast come true. Thank you very much. And so without further ado, I'm going to let Mel try and take it away and ask me questions, and then we'll see how this episode goes.
Well, hello. At this moment, I'm fine. And guys, what I did was I apologized to win in advance. And I said, here in the Sacramento Valley, which is literally the worst place in the world for allergies because of, the recent awesome rain that we've had, everything's in full bloom. So unfortunately, having asthmatic symptoms of coughing and wheezing is part of the deal. So I prefaced it today with, I'm going to mute when you're talking because I don't want to cough right in the middle of your talk. But okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And just got a few questions here. And mind you, when she said, Mel, we're going to do a deep dive in cerebral palsy, and I want you to talk about it and ask me questions. And by the way, I have a PhD, and I'm thinking, what the hell do you need me for? You already know all the answers. But I get it.
No, I don't.
Okay, so for me, I don't know anything about cerebral palsy outside of only what you've told me. There are apparently different types of cerebral palsy. First of all, how do you pronounce it properly? Is it cerebral palsy or is it cerebral palsy? How do you pronounce it properly?
Cerebral palsy. It's cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Question number one is cerebral palsy. People pronounce it cerebral. I pronounce it cerebral, but to each their own. But the medical pronunciation is cerebral palsy.
Got it. So apparently there are different types of cerebral palsy. Can you give us an idea of what kind you have?
I have every cerebral palsy underneath the sun. I have what's known as hemiplegic cerebral palsy, which affects both sides of my body, and I am considered a moderate to severe case of cerebral palsy, even though I'm fairly savant, as you guys know. But I know people with moderate. I have a friend who has ADHD and cerebral palsy, and you can't even tell he has cerebral palsy. I have another friend who was born completely able-bodied, choked on a piece of popcorn at age 2, and got what we believe is a quadriplegic cerebral palsy. So he has a form of cerebral palsy where he can't even function. He can function, I shouldn't say that. He can function, but he uses adaptive communication devices to function. He needs 24-hour care and all that good stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I have moderate to severe cerebral palsy.
Okay. Now, you're going to have difficulty with motor tasks and dexterity, and it sounds like there could be cases where you absolutely have no motor tasks and dexterity, and then some cases where you will, like the dancers that I saw in the video, the unbelievable dancers with CP. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
What realistic goals are there for a child affected with cerebral palsy?
Well, now this one is going to make me cry because in the 80s, in 87, they said to my parents, put this child in a home. This child will never be able to walk, never be able to speak, never be able to function. Put her in a home. Don't even take her home. And my parents basically said no way. And so, a child diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a premature baby diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Now, you got to remember, this is a premature baby syndrome that affects kids and affects adults with cerebral palsy. And so, the earlier it's diagnosed, the better, and the better treatment you can give your child, the better. Otherwise, if you neglect any child to the point of they're not thriving, there's no hope. So cerebral palsy goes by case, but at the same time, it takes a lot of love and a lot of treatment plans come up with the parents and come up with the doctors. I'm very, very, very lucky that I've had the top medical care in the country. My doctor who took care of me is still doing it to this day. I have a nurse who took care of me who's now retired. I don't know how my doctor who took care of me back in 87 is still doing it to this day, and I was fortunate enough to have the third-ranked Children's Hospital ranked by U.S. News and World Report in my backyard, which is 4 hours away, 3 hours on a bright and beautiful summer day. So I've been very lucky. I believe that in California they have the number one.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So how is the current research right now for cerebral palsy, in your opinion? Is it do they spend a lot of effort behind it, or is it a little bit behind? What is your opinion?
That's okay. This is a soapbox that I'll get on, and then I'll get off the soapbox. Okay. You asked for the soapbox, so you get
That's okay. Go for it.
Okay. So my feelings is United Cerebral Palsy, which is a national organization for cerebral palsy, which is worldwide, does not do enough awareness. I think they spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on research, but there's only so much research you can do. That's why I'm doing alternative PTs. I do not like traditional PTs. I'm sorry to all the traditional PTs out there, but you gotta think outside the box when it comes to cerebral palsy. And so, yeah, we're stuck in research mode and not enough awareness mode. And that's my soapbox. And I made a mini soapbox. Now it's time for Lynn to step down off the soapbox and continue.
That's quite all right. You're quite the authority on it, simply because you have it and you've dedicated your life to educating, right? Okay, here's going to be, with the risk of sounding kind of a dumb question, and I do operate under the premise there are no such thing. Can you ever get rid of cerebral palsy?
No. All have no, and that's not a dumb question because cerebral palsy is the injury, and cerebral palsy is more of the physical disability than cognitive disability. But I happen to have not only cerebral palsy, but a brain bleed on top of it. My brain bled out the third day I was born.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, that kind of leads to my next question, which is cerebral palsy.
No, I'm a medical child in more ways than one.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, my next question was, is cerebral palsy ever caused by human error?
Well, I have a story to tell on that. And because of my mom's asthma, she had to go get amniocentesis. And we believe that, and don't quote me on this, that they accidentally hit the amniotic sac, which led to a premature birth. And so, and so that's why I'm so scared about having kids, even though I can't pass cerebral palsy on to them. But what I do know is my mom's girlfriend saved my life because her OBGYN had cancer at the time in 87. He comes to my house where I'm still living today, and he checks on my mom, doesn't even realize that she's gone into premature labor. And so my mom's girlfriend walks into this house, and it's the same thing. When my mom was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, her sister walks into this house, they automatically send her to the hospital. So basically, and that was for brain aneurysm. So basically, my mom's girlfriend walked into this house and said, you're going into labor, right? And we need to get you to the hospital. And that was June 22nd. I was supposed to be born in September.
Oh, my God. Wow. So thank you to her, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And
right.
I have said thank you many years later.
Sure.
I said, after my mom died, I said, thank you. And she goes, you're welcome. She automatically knew what I was talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
And
that was a pivotal moment. That was a pivotal moment, literally, in both your lives, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching a child be born.
Excuse me. Right. So, is cerebral palsy hereditary?
No. It's not hereditary. No. Not to my knowledge, anyway.
Can alcohol consumption during pregnancy cause cerebral palsy? No,
I'm answering this question from my heart. I don't think it can.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think it can. I don't know.
All right. Well, drinking or smoking while you're pregnant isn't good anyway. I just, just kind of wondered if that was.
Yeah, you just kind of wondered. That's okay.
Right. No, just that question just brought a vision in my mind. I remember a few years ago when the boys were little, my ex-wife wanted to go to Reno to go to audition for this show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they were holding open auditions. And I'll never forget that during the entire weekend, finally checked out, Sunday morning, got the valet to get the car. We're standing there waiting, and this lady comes out, and she was not overweight. She was actually fairly slim and kind of healthy looking, pregnant. She was slim and then all tummy, right? All pregnant tummy. And she even had a kind of a body hugging dress on. So, it was very curvaceous, actually very pretty. What she did next stunned me. And after I kind of got over feeling stunned, I got angry. And I just could not believe it. And to this day, it's one of those moments in which should I have said something, but would it have mattered anyway? She busted out a pack of smokes and lit a cigarette right in front of everybody and started smoking it while she was pregnant. And I know that we're kind of getting off track here, but I got to tell you, as a father, as a dad, as someone who saw my ex-wife, do the elliptical trainer for 45 minutes prior to giving birth to both my sons, as watching the owner of Rock Solid Fitness, the place that I coach at, that freelance coach at, who is 6 months in the pregnancy and her tummy's sticking out and she's doing leg raises and working out and doing dumbbell snatches, I got to tell you, it really pissed me off. I thought to myself, how selfish can you be that you cannot even just stop? You know what I mean? And I get it. I used to smoke back when I was younger. I was in high school. I did a lot of dumb things, and I quit. But it's just one of those things. Could you not? Holy God, I'm thinking, is this your first child? Let's hope you don't have more than one children, because not only are you damaging this one, you also do secondhand smoke to your other kids. Anyway, that's my soapbox. So, please, if you're pregnant, or carrying a child or plan on creating a family, stop drinking and smoking and find a way to figure that out first before you bring a child into this world. Anyway, okay.
Yes.
All right. Is cerebral palsy a life-threatening condition? Is it terminal?
It can be, but it's not. I have to be really careful of my heart. I had open heart surgery as a baby, so I really have to be careful. I have a million scars all over my body from surgeries, down my back, and all things over. So I have to be really careful of my heart, and I have to be really careful of my heart and really careful of my body. And even though it's not terminal, I still have to be really careful, like everyone else.
Right. Okay. All right. This might be my last question to you. Not sure how much time you have here, but can cerebral palsy be prevented?
Can cerebral palsy be prevented? Now, granted, I know, as a matter of fact, when my cousin was born in 2000, and granted, you guys, I have a 18-year-old cousin who is age difference between him and I, and that's because there's an age difference between his mom and my mom by 10 years. So, of course, she had him in old age of pregnancy. So I know they did amniocentesis, and they did tests on him, on his fetus, to see if he had cerebral palsy. I know there's tests now that you can detect Down syndrome. I know there's tests now that you can probably detect cerebral palsy.
Awesome. Okay. Honestly, those are all the main questions that I have. Is there any other educational points that you feel we should know about cerebral palsy that stand out to you?
Well, basically, why I started this two educational aspects, which I'll share with you before Mel and I hang up. Basically, why I started this podcast, you guys, is to educate people not only on cerebral palsy, but to educate people on business. And as of today, we've reached 46,000 downloads. So I must be doing something right. But my closing statements are, don't judge the book by its cover, because most people with physical disabilities are bright as heck, and don't judge the book by its cover. And most people with mental disabilities, even though I act like I'm 16, 17, and I'm almost 30, that's how my brain works. And most people with physical disabilities are bright as heck, and then most people with brain bleeds have little trouble functioning, and I think the left cortex of my brain got more of the brunt than the right, because my left hand is so weak that it's not even funny. So I think the left cortex of my brain got more of the brunt of the brain bleed. But I would say, and when you have a doctor diagnose your child with cerebral palsy, always question the doctors, and always look for alternatives. I mean, geez, my mom had a PT in there day one, straight out of the room, starting PT on me. So if you can get that, if you can get that for your child, yeah, day one, and they have the deal of it. So day one, there you go. And common medication, which I have tried, is Baclofen for muscle relaxers. Well, Baclofen also relaxes the brain synapsi, and it got too much for me. They wanted to give me a hockey-sized puck intravenous injection of the Baclofen. My parents sent away. They took me off it in 2009, and 2000, or maybe earlier than that, 2007, I believe. And with me being on Baclofen, there's no way I would be doing this podcast. There's no way. And so I'm now looking for a fine line as to control my tone, but Baclofen is a little too much for everyone. So when they get to that point with your child, just find a way that you can control your child's tone. Now, granted, I am coming from a state with alternative medicine, i.e. marijuana. So, and they have done studies, and marijuana controls epilepsy. So as I've been saying to everyone, and my dad knows this too, if my CP got to the point where I couldn't control it, I would go directly for the marijuana. And I'm lucky enough that I live in a progressive state where we don't have to rely on opioids as much as the rest of the states, but we're slowly but surely getting there. But I think Baclofen is one of those killer drugs, and it does great for the tone, but not so much for the brain.
Right. No, it's yes, it's something that we all should really definitely think about, right? I mean, you're one of a kind, obviously, and the cerebral palsy community is very lucky to have you and the dedication that you have. I appreciate you answering all the questions that I had. It was definitely quite an education for me. And yes, we should raise more awareness, right? Yes, we should definitely invest in it.
Yep.
And yes, we should volunteer for the disabled, as you had pointed out a few episodes ago.
And
so
volunteer for Easter Seals. I know Easter Seals is a big deal back east. I know it's a big deal out here. I have as I said at the top of this episode, I have a friend who is a quadriplegic, has cerebral palsy, and he uses Easter Seals as his summer camp. And yes, they have nurses that are skilled to take care of him. And that's the only summer camp he does as far as sleepaway camp. And he's been doing that for I don't know how many years now. And so if you're a nurse out there and you're listening, volunteer at Easter Seals camp and really impact these kids to impact their lives.
Absolutely. Much needed. What else do we got, Lynn? Are we good, or is there anything else you wanted to touch on? I recall you said you had
Yeah. Let's just keep the special ed the best we can. I mean, we can go into a whole another soapbox podcast now
yes,
on how I feel about the special ed system. And maybe you can ask me that on lead on my birthday. I don't know. And, yeah.
Well, we all need to know more. So, especially me. So, absolutely.
Yes.
We could definitely do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys will have to wait on that one because I just got out of the education, yesterday, and I don't feel like talking about it. And so, as I said, do not talk to me about preschools for a week, and I'll be perfectly fine. I just need to decompress mentally. And so,
absolutely.
We're going to, when we do the episode on June 19th for my 30th birthday, with Mel going to be leading. Thank you very much. We're going to talk about all the aspects of cerebral palsy, including special ed. Fun. And so that's that. And so we gave you guys a taste today of what June 19th is really going to be like, and all upload and published on June 22nd so you guys can hear. But, that's going to be interesting. No, you were slowly but surely learning about cerebral palsy. And granted, I don't have all the answers, and I live with it. I don't have all the answers because medical science is changing all the time.
Well, I'm all about subject matter experts, so you're the closest one I got, thank God. So if anybody's going to give me some insight in all of it, it's going to be you. So yes, there's definitely there's the academia of anything, and then there's the personal and professional biography of everything by whomever is living it, right? So you've given us a tremendous insight today on it. So thank you.
Yes. Well, you're welcome, and thank you guys for supporting this podcast. And I just asked the podcast, and do you still have your podcast? And he goes, no, I stopped it because of my business. And I'm like, it's podcasting is part of your business. So education about cerebral palsy is definitely incorporated in the podcast. And I just got asked. I've been asked by so many people about how I started this podcast to what I do for exercise with cerebral palsy. So I'm happy to try, and I say try, to educate you guys. And we're doing Wisdom of Fashion on Thursday, and then we'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys next week, and then we'll we have a couple special things that I said in June. We actually have a really special episode on June 28th. I'm not giving it away yet, but you guys are going to get a really special episode, And I pre-warn you now, bring in the Kleenex box to that one, because June 28th, I don't know how I'm going to get to this podcast, and June 28th is my biological mom's birthday, too, 6 days after me, so, I don't know how I'm going to get to this podcast, so, but we do have a podcast that day, I know, and so, but I'll just leave it at that, and Nell and I will see you guys on Friday for the rest of Fashion, and we'll talk about airport dress codes and all that fun stuff, but I just wanted to thank you, Mel, for trying to educate yourself on cerebral palsy. I know that's a rabbit hole that I don't want you guys Googling. No, thank you. And I may, if I can get a hold of the original doctor that took care of me down in Denver, I may bring her on the podcast in June, depending on her schedule as well.
That would be fantastic. Absolutely. For sure. So anyway, thank you for answering all those questions, and we will see everybody on Friday for Wisdom of Fashion. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yes, we will. And I will catch you guys later, and you guys will hear more of me in the next coming week.
Have a great day, everyone.